Have you ever touched a woman and felt her entire body soften, her eyes linger just a little longer, and her smile tell you everything words couldn't? Gentlemen, attraction isn't only about looks or words, it's about connection, and touch is the silent language of desire. If you've ever wondered where older women truly want to be touched, in ways that make them feel not just wanted but deeply desired, then you're about to discover something most men will never know. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to Psychology of Desire, because here we reveal truths about attraction, intimacy, and connection that no one else dares to explain. Now, let's begin with something powerful. Secret number 1, the back of her neck. At first glance, it might seem ordinary, but the back of a woman's neck is one of the most overlooked yet deeply intimate places to touch her. For older women who have experienced relationships, attention, and even disappointments, this simple gesture carries more weight than you think. When your hand gently brushes against the back of her neck, whether it's while leaning in to whisper or softly guiding her closer, it awakens something primal. It communicates safety, strength, and tenderness all at once. Why does this matter so much? Because touch here is both protective and vulnerable. It's a place she cannot see, and when you reach it, she is subconsciously allowing you into her space of trust. Older women crave this sense of being cared for, especially in a world where they often feel overlooked. This isn't about lust. It's about reminding her that she is still wanted, still magnetic, still beautiful in ways only a man who understands subtlety can show her. Imagine this. You're walking side by side, and for a moment you gently place your hand at the back of her neck, almost like you're guiding her through the world with you. It's not forceful. It's not rushed. It's subtle. And yet in that instant, she feels it. Your presence, your confidence, and your quiet desire for her. Older women notice this. And often, they notice it even more than younger ones because they've lived long enough to know the difference between a touch that is careless and a touch that is intentional. Think about it. How many men do you think actually know this? Very few. Most rush toward the obvious places, thinking intimacy is only about grand gestures. But in reality, it's the delicate, almost invisible touches that create unforgettable chemistry. A younger woman may blush when you hold her hand, but an older woman melts when you pay attention to the places no one else remembers. The back of her neck is one of those secret spots. And when you do it right, you're saying more than words ever could. You're telling her, you are still wanted, you are still desired, you are still irresistible to me. Gentlemen, women, especially older women, aren't looking for someone who just touches them. They're looking for someone who sees them. And touch is one of the most powerful ways to say, without speaking, that you see her completely. Secret number 2, her lower back. There's a reason why so many women respond to a hand resting lightly at the small of their back. It's subtle, protective, and deeply intimate without being overtly sexual. For older women, this spot carries even more meaning. Think about it. When you touch her lower back, you're standing close enough to show interest, but gentle enough to give reassurance. It's the perfect balance of desire and respect. Imagine the moment. You're walking together, maybe through a doorway or along a crowded street. You place your hand lightly on her lower back, guiding her forward. To her, this doesn't just feel like a casual gesture. It feels like you are claiming your role as a man who is attentive, strong, and quietly protective. Older women, more than younger ones, appreciate this because they understand the value of a man who pays attention to details that others overlook. Why is this touch so powerful? Because it's about presence. The lower back is sensitive, but not in an obvious way. It doesn't scream for attention, yet when your hand lingers there, she feels it instantly. Her posture changes, her breath slows, and for just a moment, she is completely aware of you. It tells her she is not just another woman passing through your life, but someone you want to guide, protect, and cherish. And let me tell you this, older women are masters of reading between the lines. They can feel the difference between a touch that's careless and one that's intentional. When your hand rests on her lower back, it communicates so much without you saying a single word. It says, I see you, I want you, and I value you. Now here's the emotional truth. Many older women don't always feel seen anymore. They've lived through years of being admired, pursued, maybe even loved, but they've also experienced neglect, rejection, or being taken for granted. So when you touch her lower back in that gentle, purposeful way, you're not just touching her body, you're touching her confidence, her sense of worth, and her feminine energy that longs to feel alive again. It's no exaggeration to say that the smallest gesture, when done with the right intention, can reignite a fire in her heart. You're giving her what she craves most, the feeling of being desired, not just for how she looks, but for who she is. Gentlemen, remember this. Intimacy is not about rushing. It's about noticing the things most men miss, and in those details, creating a bond she will never forget. Secret number 3, the back of her neck. There's something almost primal about this one. The back of a woman's neck has been a symbol of vulnerability and desire for centuries. It's a place that is usually hidden, often forgotten, but when touched the right way, it can awaken something deep inside her. Think about it for a moment. The neck is where intimacy feels the most delicate. A soft touch here isn't loud or obvious, but it can make her entire body respond in ways she might not even expect. When your fingers brush gently along the back of her neck, or when your lips trace that tender skin, she doesn't just feel pleasure, she feels claimed, noticed, and cherished. For older women, this spot is even more meaningful. Why? Because they long for a kind of intimacy that isn't rushed or careless. They crave a man who understands that attraction isn't always about the obvious. It's about the subtleties, the small moments that build an electric tension. When you touch the back of her neck, you're telling her that you're not just focused on what's in front of you, you're attentive to her hidden depths. Picture this. She's sitting in front of you, maybe laughing, maybe leaning slightly forward. Your hand reaches up and lightly brushes the back of her neck. For her, this isn't just touch, it's a signal. It says you're tuned into her, that you see her softness, and that you respect her enough to approach it with care. And here's the secret most men miss. This isn't just physical. The neck is deeply tied to emotions. When touched gently, it can create a rush of trust, safety, and yes, desire. For an older woman who may have been hardened by time or past experiences, that single moment of tenderness can feel like breaking down walls she thought would never crumble. There's another layer here. Many women, especially as they grow older, don't always feel comfortable with their bodies. They may hide certain parts or avoid attention, but the back of the neck, that's different. It's not about perfection. It's not about youth. It's about vulnerability. And when you show her that you adore even the parts she doesn't think about, you unlock something no man before you has touched. This is what makes intimacy with an older woman so powerful. It's not about doing more, it's about doing less with greater meaning. She doesn't need fireworks, she needs presence. She doesn't need constant flattery. She needs you to notice her in places no one else does. So, when you lean in close, when your hand slides gently up to her neck, when your lips whisper against her skin, you're not just stirring attraction. You're building trust, creating chemistry, and showing her that she's still a woman worthy of passion. Secret number 4, the small of her back. This one, gentlemen, is subtle, but it carries a power you can't underestimate. The small of a woman's back isn't just another part of her body. It's a place that holds balance, control, and vulnerability all at once. And when you touch her there, in the right way, it sends signals that go far beyond skin deep. Imagine this moment. She's walking slightly ahead of you, maybe through a doorway or across a crowded room. You reach out and gently place your hand at the small of her back, not to push, not to pull, but simply to guide. It's protective, it's reassuring, and yet, it's undeniably intimate. For an older woman, this gesture means more than you may realize. It says you're confident, but not controlling. It says you're attentive, but not demanding. It creates a connection that is both respectful and passionate. That single touch communicates, I've got you, I see you, and I'm here with you. The small of her back is also one of the most sensitive areas of her body. There are nerves there that, when brushed lightly with your fingertips, can send a shiver through her entire frame. It's delicate, it's unexpected, and because it's not an obvious place, it feels almost like a secret only you two share. Older women especially crave this kind of intimacy. They don't just want the rush of youthful passion, they want depth. They want to feel a man who understands that attraction isn't just about fire, it's about warmth. When your hand rests at the small of her back, it's more than just touch. It's grounding, it's protective. It makes her feel feminine in a way that words could never capture. And here's the deeper truth. Many women admit that when a man touches them at the small of the back, they feel instantly more connected to him. It's almost as if the world disappears for a second. It's not sexual in the obvious way, but it's intimate. So intimate that it lingers in her mind long after. This is why so many older women remember the men who made them feel safe, yet desired. It wasn't the flashy moves, it wasn't the exaggerated gestures, it was the subtle touches, the meaningful ones. And the small of her back? That's one of the most powerful spots of all. Secret number 5, the nape of her neck. Gentlemen, this is one of the most delicate and intoxicating places on a woman's body, and for older women especially, it carries an almost forgotten kind of magic. The nape of her neck is where vulnerability and desire meet. It's exposed, unguarded, and yet so rarely touched with true intention. Think about it for a moment. The neck is where the body and the mind connect, and it's incredibly sensitive to even the lightest of touches. When you lean in, whether it's a gentle kiss, a whisper, or just letting your fingertips brush the soft skin, you unlock something primal. It's a reminder of intimacy that isn't rushed, but deeply personal. For an older woman, the nape of her neck isn't just about physical pleasure, it's about awakening feelings she may have locked away. It reminds her of moments where attraction was raw, thrilling, and deeply romantic. A kiss there doesn't just send shivers down her spine, it floods her with memory, with sensation, with the feeling of being truly wanted. Here's the hidden truth. Most men ignore the neck. They go straight for what's obvious, forgetting that the most powerful spots are often the ones that whisper, not shout. But when you take your time here, you separate yourself from every man who only thought intimacy was about speed or hunger. You show her that you understand the art of slow seduction. Picture this. She's standing close to you, maybe her hair falling softly against her shoulders. You gently move it aside, not in a rush, but with deliberate intention, and you press your lips against the curve where her neck meets her shoulder. She gasps, her body tenses, and then relaxes into you, because she knows in that moment, this is intimacy at its purest form. Older women, more than anyone, crave being seen beyond the obvious. They want to feel like every part of them, even the ones ignored by most, can still ignite desire. And when you touch or kiss the nape of her neck, you remind her she's not just a woman of experience, she's still a woman of fire. And here's what makes it irresistible. This kind of touch doesn't scream lust. It whispers connection. It builds anticipation. It creates longing. The nape of her neck is like a secret button, and when you press it right, you'll notice her breathing shift, her body lean closer, her guard fall completely. This is why so many women confess often quietly that the neck is one of the places they wish men paid more attention to. Secret number 6, the back of her hands and fingers. This one might surprise you, but it's one of the most overlooked and powerful ways to make an older woman feel deeply desired. The truth is, her hands have carried the weight of her life, raising children, working, caring, creating, holding, and letting go. And because of that, she often doesn't think of them as beautiful anymore. But you You can change that with just a single gesture. When you touch or kiss the back of her hand, or when you slowly trace your fingers along hers, you're not just being romantic, you're honoring her. You're saying, every part of you is worth loving, even the parts you've stopped noticing yourself. Older women don't just want raw passion, they crave tenderness, appreciation, and recognition. And nothing delivers that better than when a man takes her hand like she's the most precious thing in the world. Because let's be honest, when was the last time anyone truly did that for her? Think of it this way. When you lace your fingers through hers, or when you stroke her palm while looking into her eyes, you create intimacy without a single word. It tells her she's safe, she's adored, and she's still deeply attractive. That kind of attention makes her heart skip in ways that no flashy gesture ever could. And here's the hidden power. Touch her hands slowly, with intention. Don't rush. Hold them like they matter, because to her, they do. Then watch how her body reacts. Her breath may deepen, her lips might part, and she may lean closer without even realizing it. Why? Because you're awakening the part of her that longs to feel cherished. Older women often confess that the smallest touches, like a kiss on the back of the hand or a playful bite on her finger, ignite more desire than the most obvious moves. It's because these gestures tell her you see beauty in places she thought had been forgotten. Gentlemen, understand this. When you love her hands, you're not just holding her body, you're holding her history, her femininity, and her heart. And that creates a connection so rare, it leaves her weak for more. Secret number 7, the small of her back. This final spot is perhaps the most quietly intimate of them all. The small of a woman's back is tender, sensitive, and deeply symbolic. It's where vulnerability meets strength. It's the place that invites your hand when you guide her through a door, when you pull her closer while dancing, or when you simply want to let her know, I've got you. For older women, this touch carries even greater weight. Why? Because it's protective, grounding, and sensual all at once. It makes her feel like a woman again, not just a mother, not just someone who's lived through decades, but a woman who can still ignite desire and passion in a man's heart. When you place your hand at the small of her back, she feels your presence, your leadership, and your confidence, but it also whispers something deeper. You are safe with me. You are wanted. You are mine in this moment. And when combined with eye contact or a kiss, it transforms into something electric. Many women secretly crave this kind of touch but rarely say it. It's one of those gestures that feels natural, yet it can stir emotions she hasn't felt in years. The truth is, attraction isn't always about the obvious spots. It's about the secret ones, the ones hidden in plain sight. Her neck, her ears, her lips, her hands, her lower back. These aren't just physical areas, they are emotional gateways. They are reminders that every inch of her body, no matter her age, still deserves to be celebrated. Gentlemen, if this spoke to you, don't just watch and walk away. Hit that subscribe button to Psychology of Desire right now. Because here, we uncover truths about attraction that most men will never learn. And remember this, desire is not about age, it's about connection. And when you know where and how to touch a woman's heart and body, you unlock something far more powerful than attraction. You unlock devotion. This was the secret spots that make older women feel desired. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay curious, stay confident, and always remember the psychology of desire is in your hands.